Okay, good morning. It is bright and early on a Sunday morning, and I am up because I just got home from work. No, I didn't work all night, but we had a store meeting this morning. We have one about every 6 months, and about that, I believe. And and everybody that works at the store is scheduled to come to the meeting. So I was up for that meeting. It began at 5 a.m. and lasted until 7. And I've never had fun at a store meeting before. Usually I'm in a hurry to get out of there and whatnot, and I don't have my groove yet, technically still. But I was happy to be there and play some games and hear what was going on with the store when I could hear it. There's a microphone and a speaker, but sometimes you still can't hear the speaker when they're talking. Some people got some awards and whatnot, and like I said, there were some games which I had never been. I don't think I'd ever been to a meeting at my old store in Utah where there had been any type of game. Yeah, when you come in super early like that for the meeting, they do feed you. Sometimes they make you something, or sometimes they have something catered in. And this was catered in from some place called Don Tortaco. I'd never had it before, and I'd never heard of it before. But I will say it's pretty good. So yeah, that's a really decent breakfast burrito. I couldn't eat the whole thing. Only ate half of it and brought the other half home, and brought one home for Cherokee. But yeah, there were some games set up. One was putt-putt, and a putt-putt game. You could try each game once, and then they totaled up your points from your games, and the people with the most points won something. So putt-putt, that was, oh my goodness, I hadn't played putt-putt. The last time I played putt-putt, and I can remember it, was with my daughter's father on a date before I got pregnant with my daughter, who is now 25 years old. So, and then the putter that they had us use, it was weighted funny and whatnot, and I didn't score any points with that. I missed the bucket, and you're thinking, how can you miss that big homer bucket? It's like this big around, right? The opening. But yeah, I missed it, and I wasn't the only one who missed it. It was, harder than you might expect it to be. And then there was a football toss. You're trying to get the football into a trash can at the other end of the lumber aisle. And I can't throw. That's just all there is to that. I can't throw. And then the third game had these bars set up, 1 point, 2 point, 3 points, and these golf balls on the ends of rope, and you threw them and were trying to hook them onto the bar. I can't throw. My hidden talent turned out to be beer pong. There was no beer involved, okay? It's just, you bounce the ball and try and get it in a cup. And the way they had it set it up, they called it like beer basketball. And so there was a line, and you couldn't pass the line to do your bounce. And then there were some cups set up in different areas and worth different points. And you know, I got 1 3-point cup and 2 in a 2-point cup. So so that was my hidden talent, was beer pong, and I made enough points to win these. Yeah, I'll try them. I'll see if they, you know, and see if they work and or whatnot, and use those. I mean, sure. Yay! I like the color, so. And I'm somebody who doesn't usually win things, so that's kind of neat, you know. And yeah, sure, it's not, you know, super expensive or anything like that, but it's still kind of fun, you know. And it was a good meeting. It was a good meeting, and I just kind of floated around, you know, because I'm not a I don't belong to any cliques, and I never really have belonged to any cliques.
You're not a social butterfly.
All right, she said it. I'm not a social butterfly. Well,
you can socialize. You're just not a social butterfly. It's not your thing.
Okay, I'll take her word for it. She's right. I can socialize, but I'm not a social butterfly. It is not my thing. You know, I'm happy with the good friends that I've had for a very long time, you know, since maybe like a couple since elementary, junior high, and high school, and I love them, and you know, and new friends are good, but you know, sometimes it's just best to keep your circle small, you know, and you know, when you know who you can trust, and of course, you know, when you find out you can't trust somebody, you know, you keep them out of your circle. That's just how that works. But yeah, I was you know, pleasantly surprised. I don't normally get to wear a t-shirt like this to work because we're not supposed to wear t-shirts. And I used to wear this at my old Home Depot. They'll let you slide a little bit for freight. But at the service desk, I couldn't wear one of my fun t-shirts. So, but yeah, growing old is mandatory. Growing up is optional. And I'm not growing up. No, not me. Okay. Other thing that, you know, things are starting to finally cool off. Thank goodness. The first week of September, we were still like getting like 105-degree days, and then we started getting some cloudy, rainy days, and so things have cooled off, and you know, now we're having, you know, 80, 90-degree weather, and it dropping down into like the upper 70s at night. And which the nice effect is the positive effect it's having, at least the positive effect for me on my electric bill is things are going down. My electric bill, my highest one was like $107, and that was the one before this one, and now it's dropped down to about 170. Hopefully, as it gets even cooler, it'll go down some more. You know, once we get to the point where we don't need to, you know, run the fans so much. You know, I think because this apartment has no HVAC system, we're probably going to have to run a couple of the small fans, probably even in the winter time, because there's no air circulation in here. You know,
much like there's very little sewer drains, there's no air circulation.
So, you know, no HVAC system. The building's very old. So heating and cooling is done by the same unit. It's just like a unit you would see in a hotel room.
Doesn't work, by the way.
Your heater doesn't work in yours? Why would you try it?
Just to check if it worked.
I haven't even tried it. I'm not worried about it at this point.
Mine doesn't work, but I don't particularly care because I don't expect it to get cold enough either.
You know, so I can't say I've tried to turn the heat on this one because I'm not worried about it unless we actually get cold. And with there being no HVAC in this old brick building, I'm not expecting to have too much trouble with things being cold. Plus, it's a very small apartment, so I imagine, the second I cook something, things heat up. And it was actually warmer in here this morning than it was outside when I left for work. But yeah, it's nice to see that going down. It makes me feel better, and and we're hanging in there and doing okay. Even though the last day of summer isn't until this Friday, I'm gonna say we have survived our first summer in Las Vegas, and hoping to just do well here. We've been struggling for a long time. Excuse me. And gonna try and be more positive. Once upon a time, being a positive, happy-go-lucky person came easy to me, but I don't know. I guess you can only get crapped on so much before you start to starts to affect your attitude and who you are and whatnot, and I got to say that change kind of came along while I was living in Utah. There's a lot of nice people in Utah who are kind and helpful, and I'm grateful for those people. There are also a lot of people who are holier than thou, and I'm me. And I don't feel the need to conform to other people's standards for certain things. My personal culture, my spirituality. There are things I will not compromise on, and religiously, etc. And so that can make things very difficult in that state. So big difference from there to here is in a team meeting there in Utah, coffee would not have been offered for anybody. It would just not be offered, period. Whereas at this team meeting, there was coffee. Yay! I think, it's important to be accepting of other people's differences. And I think that's something we are bad at teaching in this country, that it's important to be accepting of other people who are different, because different is not necessarily bad. Sometimes different is very, very good. That's just how I see it. But yeah, we have survived our first summer here in Las Vegas, and back on the freight team and getting dirty and sweaty going to work, and that's okay. You know, it's all right. You know, I don't mind the hard, dirty work. You know, kind of feeling a sense of accomplishment at the end of the day when the truck is empty and you know, and you did your job. You know, and you did it well. You know, so and probably gonna pass out here in a few minutes and sleep a good part of the day. And go to work tomorrow night and get sweaty and dirty again. Yay! All right. So, you know, we love everybody and we miss everybody. And, you know, we hope everybody is doing well. You know, we know we're not there to be supportive of difficulties anybody is going through, but you know, you're still on our minds, and you know, so just be strong because you are stronger than you know. All right, and peace.